You know, some people just think I mess with them. I'm not really messing with anybody. This is common sense stuff, y'all. Michael Lunsford here, Citizens for New Louisiana. Looking around over there in St. Landry Parish, bless their hearts, in Opelousas. And I know Opelousas is moving and shaking, man. They got all these great businesses over there. So what do you do when you're a government and you all of a sudden find yourself with a bunch of businesses coming into your community? Well, you raise taxes on them, of course. And so we have the Opelousas Downtown Development District, the ODDD, that is planning, according to their press release, they're investing $100,000 in a building improvement grant program. So if you applied for these grants, you could get money to fix up your stuff, right? That's the idea. And it's supposed to be in the downtown area. And look, the Downtown Development District boundaries we have presented to you numerous times. We believe they're invalid. They're not specific enough to be easy to recreate on a map. I can't draw a map with the boundaries that they provide in law. We've let them know that. They've just kind of blown it off as, oh, we don't care. We're raising taxes anyway. We're going to do a detailed article about the taxes. And we've kind of covered it before, but we have new information that I think will be exciting, at least for the folks up there in St. Landry Parish who really don't like us very much for asking questions. Let's get to the press release and why I am so amused on a Friday afternoon. Opelousas Downtown Development District invests $100,000 through the 2026 Building Improvement Grant Program. Proud to announce the recipients of its 2026 grant, awarding $100,000 in matching grants to 12 local businesses. Here they are, 12 businesses listed. It doesn't list, it's just a bunch of marketing fluff here. It doesn't really say what the purpose is. It doesn't really say what they plan to do with the money. It doesn't even say how much money they gave each one. We do know $100,000 roughly works out to about $8,000 per recipient, but we don't know what they're planning to spend the money on. So I sent a public records request because the information is not available anywhere online. I looked. I generally prefer to get information online before we do records requests, and we only submit them when absolutely necessary. So here is the pseudo records request. It's really just a request for information. Hey, Brittany, who that's the person who is the marketing media contact, Brittany Creighton. Hey, Brittany. I saw the announcement about the 2026 Building Improvement Grant recipients. It looks like a good collection of projects, and I'm interested in learning more about what each recipient plans to do. Shouldn't be difficult. There's a grant process. They should know what the recipient plans to do with the money. Would you mind sending me any materials that provide additional details about the projects, particularly the project or the property address, proposed improvements, and award amount for each recipient? This stuff should not be difficult. If there is already a board packet, committee packet, spreadsheet, or any other information already, containing this information, just that you could send that over and that'll be fine. Electronic copies by email are perfectly fine too. That's the request. Hey, who got money? Where are they located? And how much did they get? Not hard. Especially they just announced $100,000 went out. Shouldn't be hard to know where that money went. The next day, I get an email from a lawyer. I don't know why lawyers do this. The email from the lawyer says "see attached," and there's a PDF. And apparently, they wrote this letter. They printed it out on their letterhead. He signed it with a pen, and they scanned it in, and they made it a PDF, and they attached it to an email. He could have just told me this in the email. Anyway. Our good friends over there on Hyman Boulevard. Hi, guys. May we clarify whether you seek potentially responsive documents concerning grant recipients alone or concerning all applicants, including those not awarded? That's a very curious question. Including those not awarded. It goes on to say, we'll provide you with the information within 14 days or August 19th is his prediction. So in answer to his email, thanks for the speedy reply. I was really just trying to get a little bit more information about the program. Very, very, very simple stuff, right? Whatever's easiest for you is fine. I also didn't realize anyone had not been accepted. So perhaps the applications from everyone would be interesting. At this point, we're just trying to get a better understanding of the purpose of the grants and what projects the awards are intended to accomplish. Easy. Email back from the attorney on Hyman Boulevard here in Lafayette, not Opelousas. I do not know with certainty that any applications did not receive grants. I await the responsive materials from my client. But he suggested that someone didn't get the grants. How would he know that? At any rate, he's waiting on responses from his client. Anyway, so 2 weeks goes by. It's the 19th, not today, but it's the 19th. I'm sitting at my desk, drumming my fingers, saying, well, today's the day. I wonder if we're going to get our documents finally. They love waiting to the last minute. I got an email. I said, oh, goody, my documents. It said, see attached. Oh, goody. I open it up. It's another lawyer letter that he dictated, typed up, signed, scanned, and put in a PDF and attached to the email that said, see attached. And it says, we wanted to advise that we will require an additional time to fully respond. They say fully respond. They didn't respond at all, other than letting me know that they plan to respond. We anticipate we will be able to provide you with a full response by Wednesday, September 2nd, another 2 weeks. So here's the deal. I went and pulled the Downtown Development District, Opelousas Downtown Development District, annual report from the Legislative Auditor website. They have $9 million cash on hand. So I think the problem, and by the way, they spent about $1.5 million last year on a project for a football stadium. And I don't know, I'm going to go drive out there after I do the video. I don't know where that football stadium is or if they actually did anything with the $1.5 million. We're going to go see. But the fact of the matter is they have more money than they know what to do with, apparently. $9 million. So now they have to give it away. This is your tax dollars. So my simple request is, who'd you give it to? What's their address? And what do they plan to do with the money? Apparently takes 4 weeks to answer. I mean, Brittany could have just said, hey man, it's these 12 that's in the press release. This is how much each one's getting. This is their address. This isn't difficult stuff, y'all. This really isn't. But I am amused. I'm amused because apparently something's scattering. And they're freaking out because I asked who got the money. We'll see, y'all. It'll be fun. We'll be back with more great information from St. Landry Parish, I'm sure in the next 2 weeks anyway, right? Stay tuned.